Testing, testing, testing.
So we are going to start our Sunday Satsang with prayer and Kirtan, followed by Swamiji's Kirtan and Pravachan.
Radhe Radhe. The daily prayer is in Sankirtan Madhuri on page 20. Shri Gurave Namaha. Shri Gurave Namaha. Shri Gurave Namaha. Acharyam Mam Vijaniyan Navamanyeta Karhichit Namarthya Buddhya Suyeta Sarvadeva Mayo Guruhu. He Varam Priyatam Purnatam Purushottam Shri Krishna, तुमसे विमुख होने के कारण अनादि काल से हमने अनंता अनंत दुख पाए एवं पा रहे हैं। पाप करते करते अंतःकरण इतना मलिन हो चुका है कि रसिकों द्वारा यह जानने पर भी कि तुम अपनी भुजाओं को पसारे अपनी वात्सल्यमयी दृष्टि से हमारी प्रतीक्षा कर रहे हो, तुम्हारी शरण में नहीं आ पाता। हे अशरण शरण, तुम्हारी कृपा के बिना तुम्हें कोई जान भी तो नहीं सकता। ऐसी स्थिति में हे अकारण करुण पतित पावन श्री कृष्ण, तुम अपनी अहैतुकी कृपा से ही हमको अपना लो। हे करुणा सागर, हम भुक्ति मुक्ति आदि कुछ नहीं मांगते, हमें तो केवल तुम्हारे निष्काम प्रेम की ही एकमात्र चाह है। हे नाथ, अपने विरद की ओर देखकर इस अधम को निराश न करो। हे जीवन धन, अब बहुत हो चुका, अब तो तुम्हारे प्रेम के बिना यह जीवन मृत्यु से भी अधिक भयानक है। अतएव प्रेम भिक्षाम देहि, प्रेम भिक्षाम देहि, प्रेम भिक्षाम देहि। साकेत बिहारी श्री राघवेंद्र सरकार की जय। वृंदावन बिहारी श्री यादवेंद्र सरकार की जय। श्रीमद् सद्गुरु सरकार की जय। जय जय श्री राधे, जय जय श्री राधे, जय जय श्री राधे।
Our first Kirtan is in Sankirtan Madhuri, page 44. जय राघवेंद्र सरकार की, जय सीता सुकुमार की। 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 जय राम लक्ष्मण जानकी, जय सुधा रूप रस खान की। जानकी, जय सुधा रूप रस खान की। जय सुधा सुधा रूप रस खान की। जय राम लक्ष्मण जानकी, जय सुधा रूप रस खान की। जय राम लक्ष्मण जानकी, जय सुधा रूप रस खान की। ओ जय सुधा रूप रस खान की। जय सुधा रूप रस खान की। जय सुधा रूप रस खान की। ओ जय राम लक्ष्मण जानकी, जय सुधा रूप रस खान की। जय राम लक्ष्मण जानकी, जय सुधा राघवेंद्र सरकार की, जय सीता सुकुमार की। जय राघवेंद्र सरकार की, जय सीता सुकुमार की। जय राघवेंद्र सरकार की, जय सीता सुकुमार की। जय 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 राजा राम की, जय प्रेम रूप रस खान की। जय 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 राजा राम की, जय प्रेम रूप रस खान की। जय 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 राजा राम की, जय प्रेम रूप रस खान की। जय 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 राजा राम की, जय प्रेम रूप रस खान की। ओ जय राघवेंद्र दरबार की, जय 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 पवन कुमार की। जय राघवेंद्र दरबार की, जय 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 पवन कुमार की। ओ जय राघवेंद्र जय राघवेंद्र जय राघवेंद्र दरबार की, जय 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 पवन कुमार की। जय राघवेंद्र दरबार की, जय 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 पवन कुमार की। ओ जय 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 पवन कुमार की। 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 जय राघवेंद्र सरकार की, जय सीता सुकुमार 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 की। बोलिए राघवेंद्र सरकार की जय।
Wishing everybody a very, very happy Deepavali. Jai Siya Ram. Let's continue singing the divine names of Bhagwan Ram. Raghupati Raghav Raja Ram Patita Pavan Sitaram.
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 Sitaram, Sitaram, bhaj pyare tu Sitaram.
Sitaram, Sitaram, bhaj pyare tu Sitaram.
Oh, Sitaram, Sitaram, bhaj pyare tu Sitaram.
Sitaram, Sitaram, bhaj pyare tu Sitaram.
Sitaram, Sitaram, bhaj pyare tu Sitaram.
Sitaram,
Everyone.
bhaj pyare tu Sitaram.
Oh, Sitaram, Sitaram, bhaj pyare tu Sitaram.
Sitaram, Sitaram, bhaj pyare tu Sitaram.
Oh, Raghupati Raghav Raja Ram Patita Pavan Sitaram.
Raghupati Raghav
Your Lord Ram has come back. Sing with all your heart.
Pavan Sitaram.
Oh, Raghupati Raghav Raja Ram Patita Pavan Sitaram.
Raghupati Raghav Raja Ram
Jai Siya Ram.
Pavan Sitaram.
Avadh Bihari Raja Ram bani aaye Vrindavan Sham.
Bihari Raja Ram
Bani
aaye Vrindavan Sham.
Oh, Avadh Bihari Raja Ram bani aaye Vrindavan Sham.
Avadh Bihari Raja Ram bani aaye Vrindavan Sham.
Maryada Purushottam Ram गोपी जन वल्लभ सोई श्याम। जय सिया राम। मर्यादा पुरुषोत्तम राम, गोपी जन वल्लभ सोई श्याम।
मर्यादा पुरुषोत्तम राम, गोपी जन वल्लभ सोई श्याम।
हे रघुपति राघव राजा राम, पतित पावन सीताराम। जय सिया राम।
राजा राम,
जय श्री राम।
पावन सीताराम।
रघुपति राघव राजा राम, पतित 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 पावन सीताराम।
ओ रघुपति राघव राजा राम, पतित पावन सीताराम।
रघुपति राघव राजा राम, पतित पावन सीताराम।
रघुपति राघव राजा राम, पतित पावन सीताराम।
रघुपति
जय सिया राम।
पतित पावन सीताराम।
रघुपति राघव राजा राम, पतित पावन सीताराम।
रघुपति राघव राजा राम, पतित पावन सीताराम।
ओ श्री राम जय राम जय राम, श्री राम जय राम जय राम।
श्री राम जय राम जय जय राम, श्री राम जय राम जय जय राम।
श्री राम जय राम जय जय राम, श्री राम जय राम जय जय राम।
श्री राम जय राम जय जय राम, श्री राम जय राम जय जय राम।
श्री राम जय राम जय जय राम, श्री राम जय राम जय जय राम।
श्री राम जय राम जय जय राम, श्री राम जय राम जय जय राम।
ओ श्री राम जय राम जय जय राम, श्री राम जय राम जय जय राम।
श्री राम जय राम जय जय राम, श्री राम जय राम जय जय राम।
ओ श्री राम जय राम जय जय राम, श्री राम जय राम जय जय राम।
श्री राम जय राम जय जय राम, श्री राम जय राम जय जय राम।
हे रघुपति राघव राजा राम, पतित पावन सीताराम।
रघुपति राघव राजा राम, पतित पावन सीताराम।
रघुपति राघव राजा राम पतित पावन सीताराम
रघुपति राघव राजा राम पतित पावन सीताराम
अवध बिहारी जोई श्री राम सोई भय रास बिहारी श्याम
अवध बिहारी जोई श्री राम
सोई भय रास बिहारी अवध बिहारी जोई श्री राम सोई भय रास बिहारी श्याम
अवध बिहारी जोई श्री राम सोई भय रास बिहारी श्याम
अवध बिहारी जोई श्री राम सोई भय रास बिहारी श्याम
अवध बिहारी जोई श्री राम सोई भय रास बिहारी श्याम
ओ अवध बिहारी जोई श्री राम सोई भय रास बिहारी श्याम
अवध बिहारी जोई श्री राम सोई भय रास बिहारी श्याम
हे रघुपति राघव राजा राम पतित पावन सीताराम
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 रघुपति राघव राजा राम पतित पावन सीताराम everyone
रघुपति राघव
Let's all clap.
राम पतित
जय सिया राम
पावन सीताराम
रघुपति राघव राजा राम पतित पावन सीताराम
रघुपति राघव राजा राम पतित पावन सीताराम
ओ रघुपति राघव राजा राम पतित पावन सीताराम
रघुपति राघव राजा राम पतित पावन सीताराम
ओ रघुपति राघव राजा राम पतित पावन सीताराम
रघुपति राघव राजा राम पतित पावन सीताराम
ओ जय सिया राम बोलो जय सिया राम जय सिया राम बोलो जय सिया राम
जय सिया राम बोलो जय सिया राम जय सिया राम बोलो जय सिया राम
हे जय सिया राम बोलो जय सिया राम जय सिया राम बोलो जय सिया राम
जय सिया राम बोलो जय सिया राम जय सिया राम बोलो जय सिया राम
जय सिया राम बोलो जय सिया राम जय सिया राम बोलो जय सिया राम
जय सिया राम बोलो जय सिया राम जय सिया राम बोलो जय सिया राम
सियावर रामचंद्र की After 14 years, the Lord of your life has come back. You need to do a louder Jaikara, otherwise he'll go away again. Siyamara Ramachandra ki! Let's try once more with all your heart. Siyamara Ramachandra ki! Our Sanatan Dharma, Hindu Dharma, is full of festivals. But in one way, the king of these festivals, the one that is the most popular amongst the Indian diaspora around the world, is the festival of Diwali. It is a time of joyous celebration, and it commemorates one of the most joyous occasions in history. The first people to celebrate Deepavali, who were they? The residents of Ayodhya. For 14 years, their life had been plunged into darkness because the Lord, whom they loved more than their own life, to see whom seated on the throne of Ayodhya they had pleaded before King Dashrath. That Lord had departed. It was like the Deepak from their life had gone out. And naturally, when he returned, they were overwhelmed in bliss. Even greater was the bliss of Kaushalya, the bliss of Shatrughna, the bliss of Bharat. Imagine the kind of Deepavali that took place in their hearts. The external lighting of lamps was just a manifestation of the inner joy. And today, when we celebrate Deepavali, we relive those symptoms. We try and experience the joy, the bliss, and the devotion of the residents of Ayodhya. And we hope that we can welcome the Lord of our life into our hearts. While we celebrate Deepavali, we forget, why did Deepavali take place? Well, when Ram came back from the forest, not really. It would never have happened if Ram had not departed into the forest. That dark night, it set up the situation for the future celebration. All of us look for celebrations and festivities, but we don't realize it is the dark nights that prepare for these great dawns. If Kaikeyi had not asked for the two boons, do you think there would have been any occasion to celebrate Deepavali? And if Manthara had not incited Kaikeyi, where would have been the question of us commemorating the Deepavali Mahotsav? That mantra was one of the worst role players in the Ram Leela. The Ramayana talks about the death of Ravan and the death of Kumbhakarna. But the Ramayana makes no mention of the death of Manthara. Because Manthara is still residing in our environments, maybe amongst our relatives. That one person who is always hurting you, who is always saying bitter things and maybe even plotting against you. And our knee-jerk response is, if this mantra was not there in my life, all would be well. That is like saying, if there was no mantra in the Ram Leela, we would then have a great Diwali. Factually, we would have had no Diwali. So likewise, our desire to be always celebrating needs to be tempered with the perspective, the reality of this world. Maybe God has placed these mantras in your life for your purification. Why did mantra exist in the Ram Leela? The Ayodhya Kand explains. See, the Bal Kand is the longest Kand of the Ramcharitmanas, the Ramayana. And after his marriage, Bhagavan Ram comes back, all is well. They would have lived happily ever after. Ram, Sita, everybody. But then, and also, the Ayodhya Vasis went to Dashrath and they started praising Dashrath so much. Avadpati, Suryavanshi, Naresh, Raghukul, Shiromani, you are the greatest of the great kings that has been born. And Dashrath heard all these praises. He said, why are they praising me so much? Let me go and take a look at my face in the mirror. Am I worthy of these praises? This is one of the best policies to adopt in life. When people praise you, go and look in the mirror. Am I worthy of it? Well, we may have a few good qualities because God has bestowed them. But self-awareness puts us in touch with our weakness, our infirmities as well. And when Dashrath looked into the mirror, what he saw was his hair had started becoming white. Shravana samipa bhaye sit kesa manahu jaratha panu asa upadesa. So why does the hair close to the ears become white? Because when you apply soap on your face, it gets applied on the hair as well. So it's the first place where the hair goes white. And Dashrath said, oh my God. Now our response is, go and find a dye to turn it black again. But Dashrath, his response was, oh my God, this body is made of mud. And the mud has started deteriorating. My death is close by. It is not too far. I must now do something for the salvation of my soul. Nipa yuvaraja rama kena dehu jivan janama labha kena lehu. I think I should now hand over my kingdom to Ram and go into the jungle and practice sadhana. That is why in the Indian system of counting, 51 is called Ikyavan. Time to go into the forest. There is the Brahmacharya ashram, first 25 years, then the Grihastha ashram, 25 to 50, where you have the right, you try and fulfill your material desires, run after them, and by the age of 50 become mature enough to realize that the real happiness is not in hedonistic delights. Then comes the Vanaprastha ashram, where you are in household but you are practicing semi-renounced life. That is why 51, 52, 53, the one is attached out there. And then if you have reached 75, then it is sannyas. Now you are supposed to be fully renounced. So Dashrath thought, I need to go into the forest, I should coronate Ram. And he went and asked Vasishtha, Gurudev, it seems to me that my residents want to see their beloved Ram as the king of Ayodhya. Do you think we should coronate him? Vasishtha said, what can be a better idea than this? So Dashrath said, Gurudev, please look at the Panchang and get a Shubh Muhurt, auspicious moment for Ram's coronation. Vasishtha gave the most brilliant answer. He said, Beta Dashrath, what Muhurt do you need? The moment Ram comes on the throne, that is the most auspicious moment. What can be more auspicious? So, having heard that, Dashrath should have said, let's coronate him today. But Dashrath postponed it by one day. In that case, Gurudev, we will do it not today, tomorrow. And the one day postponement made all the difference. We people do the same. We hear that human life is precious. We hear that we are the soul and we are eternal parts of God. And that we have received this human life to attain God. We also hear that human life is temporary. And we must engage in devotion. But having listened to all this, we say, you are right, Swamiji, we'll start doing it, but not from today, from tomorrow. So, Dashrath made the mistake. Nevertheless, that day the announcement was made. And the announcement, it sent a thrill of divine bliss through the hearts of all the Avadvasis. They were all looking forward to the joy. There was no problem whatsoever in Ayodhya until the Devatas said, this is not right. No problem. That's not the way life is supposed to be. We people want life like that, no problems. If somebody could just cut away all my problems and throw them away, how delightful everything would be. Just eat an ice cream, no chance of cholesterol. Take as many chocolate cakes as you like, no diabetes. Hey Bhagavan, put me in such a paradise. So such a paradise seemed to be getting created in Ayodhya, and the Devatas said, no, Baba. There has to be some problem created. So they went to Saraswati and said, Saraswati, you are the goddess of this buddhi, the intellect. We need you to reverse the intellect of somebody in Ayodhya so that problems start happening. The action begins. Saraswati said, and look, you Devatas, Your status is high. Your post is high and your activities are so low. You can't tolerate the well-being of the Ayodhya Vasis. The Devtas said, look, it is only when this Leela gets churned that the nectar will come out. Think about it. If Ram had not gone into the forest, would we have come to know about the spectacular qualities of Lakshman? Such amazing qualities. When Lakshman came to know that Ram has received this instruction to go in the forest, Lakshman had made up his mind that he will take Ram's agya. If Ram permits him, then both his soul and his body will go with Ram. And if Ram stops him, then his soul will go with Ram. He will drown his body in the Saryu river. So Ram tried to explain to him in many ways and saw that Lakshman was not budging. And Ram said, in that case, go and ask your mother, Sumitra. So now the music that was going on, because the people were thinking today is the day of coronation. The news suddenly spread that things have changed and the music stopped. And Lakshman went to Sumitra. Sumitra asked, Beta, why has all the music stopped? And Lakshman explained that, Mother, things have changed. The kingdom has been given to Bharat and Ram is being sent into the forest. So Lakshman had come to take permission from Sumitra. Sumitra accosted him. Why have you come here? Lakshman said, to take your blessings that I may go with Ram. And Sumitra said, my child, when Ram and Sita are going into the forest, what business do you have to be here? Tat tumhar matu vaidehi, pita Ram sabbhanti sanehi. My child, Ram is your actual father and Sita is your mother. So he got the blessings and from there he was leaving. Before leaving, Sumitra said, what will you do? Lakshman said, I will serve Ram for 14 years. And Sumitra said, what will you do? At night. Will you serve him at night as well? So Lakshman said, I will not sleep at night. And these are the qualities that we came to know of because the Ram Leela got churned. After that, Lakshman went to his wife Urmila. She was a painter and she was painting the coronation scene of Ram. When Lakshman entered, the cup of paint from her hand slipped and fell. And the scene she was making was splattered. Lakshman asked his wife what happened. She said, it has all got spoiled. Lakshman said, the reality has also got spoiled. So Lakshman did not ask his wife for permission. She merely understood. And it is said that when she came to know that her husband is not going to sleep at night, she took a vow that she will not even lie down at night. So for 14 years, she continued to stand. That was the exemplary qualities we saw in the residents of Ayodhya. When Lakshman returned, and after greeting the mothers, when he went to meet his wife, and he saw her feet swollen. Naturally, if somebody is standing for 14 years, how the feet will swell? Tears came to his eyes at her sacrifice. Tulsidas ji has written the Ramayana in Hindi called the Ramcharitmanas. He also wrote a whole lot of other literature related to the Ramcharitmanas. And he has written certain letters from Kaushalya to Ram. Hypothetical letters that Kaushalya wrote to Ram. And in one of those letters, Kaushalya came to know that Lakshman has fainted. When Indrajit, during the Lanka Kand, in the war, when Indrajit's poison darts, they hit Lakshman, he fainted. And Kaushalya, so Hanumanji went to get the Sanjeevani. Remember? While he was returning, Bharat was sitting there, doing his austerities at night. And Bharat saw something going from above. He thought it's some kind of a demon going at great speed. And Bharat took aim and shot Hanuman. So Hanumanji along with the Parvat fell down. And Hanumanji said, "Hey Ram." Hearing that, Bharat understood that this is a devotee of Ram. And through the conversation, he came to know that Lakshman has fainted and this Sanjeevani is being taken for his sake. So Kaushalya also came to know what is going on. And Kaushalya writes to Ram, "My child, if anything happens to Lakshman, you better not come back home." That was the extent to which the residents of Ayodhya used to love Lakshman. This love in the heart of Lakshman was all churned because of the provocation of Manthara to Kaikeyi, who got the 2 boons. However, even bigger than Lakshman's love for Ram was Bharat's love for Ram. Some people say that the Ram Charit was churned. It churned the ocean of love in Bharat's heart. And the poison that came out was the death of Dashrath, which was drunk by Kaikeyi. Now we will not talk about Kaikeyi any further, but look at Bharat. He is one of the most astonishing patras of the Ramcharitmanas. Lakshman was fortunate to always be with Ram. Some people conclude that Lakshman must have been the greater devotee. It is just like in the Krishna Leela, the gopis, Krishna stayed with them for 11 years and 52 days. And then he went to Mathura for 14 years and subsequently he went to Dwarka. In Dwarka, Sri Krishna stayed for 100 years. So he gave these queens his personal association. Rukmini, Satyabhama, etc., They were so blessed to actually live with God, to be in the palace with God, to serve Him all the time. So people conclude that the status of Rukmani Satyabhama was higher and the gopis was lower because they got over 100 years of separation. But the acharyas, the scriptures tell us that Rukmani Satyabhama, even Mahalakshmi, she does tapasya to get the dust of the lotus feet of the gopis. That was the status of the gopis. And likewise, Ram left Bharat behind. But look at the sacrifice, the austerity, the purity in the heart of Bharat. When Bharat came to know, actually, when Ram had gone into the forest and Sumantra returned and told Dashrath what has happened, 6 days had gone by. Dashrath, although he told Sumantra to put Ram, Lakshman and Sita on the chariot and take them, he quietly told Sumantra, listen, take them around for a joy ride and then bring them back. So, on the banks of Ganga in Shringaberpur, first night Ram spent on the banks of the Tamasa. The Avadvasis also, many came there and they all went to sleep. So Ram woke up at midnight, left them all and moved ahead, conveying the message that in bhakti, you better stay awake, spiritually awake. Jo sovat hai, so khovat hai. Jo jagat hai, so pavat hai. Uth jag musafir, बेर भई अब रैन कहाँ जो सोवत है. So second night, Ram reached Ganga Tat in Shringaberpur where Guharaj met him. In the morning, he asked Guharaj, get me some kshir, some milk of the trees. Now that I am going to stay in the forest, I need to have a dress appropriate for the forest dwellers. Guharaj got the milk, the sap, and gave it to Ram. Ram put it on his hair and made matted hair, jata. You see, many renunciants, their matted hair is a symbol of their renunciation. They completely detached from their looks in any way. So Ram put that on his head and he asked Lakshman, you also put it. Seeing Ram's matted hair broke the heart of Sumantra. And he said to Ram, enough is enough. Now please come back with me. And Ram said, how can I come back with you? I have got the instruction of my father to stay in the forest for 14 years. Sumantra said, listen, your father, Avadpati Dashrath, he said to me that take them around for 4 days and bring them back. So he first gave you the instruction to go in the forest for 14 years. Then he gave the superseding instruction, bring them back. Now you are hanging on to the first instruction and you are releasing the second one. It's just like a father tells the child that go and get a soap from the marketplace. The child is getting ready to go to the 7-Eleven store to get the store. And the father says, it's all right, don't have to go, come back. The son says, no, I'll follow your first instruction. Likewise, he told you to go and he asked me to bring you back. So listen to my second instruction. Sumantra is trying to convince Ram, but who can convince Ram? Who's Bhagavan? Ram said, Sumantra, the first was my father's instruction. And the second is his moh, his attachment. I have to follow that instruction as my dharma. The pursuance of dharma is not always pleasant. To do the right thing may be inconvenient. Now the question is, just because something is inconvenient, do you reject it? When Harishchandra followed the dharma of truthfulness, there was inconvenience. But he did not say, okay, in that case, forget about dharma, I'll follow my convenience. When Dadhichi did the tyag, when Bhishma followed brahmacharya, they all bore the inconvenience as their dharma. So Sumantra, 14 years will pass by in a jiffy. You go back to my father. So Sumantra, he returned. Now when Dashrath came to know that they are not coming back, it completely churned Dashrath's prem. He started wailing, Haram, Haram. He started banging his head against the wall. And Kaushalya said, what are you doing? This separation from Ram is like an ocean. Ayodhya is the ship in the ocean. And you, my dear husband, are the captain of this ship. You need to handle yourself so that all the Ayodhya-vasis can handle themselves. But Dashrath had a different perspective. He said, with this tongue, I said that I instructed that the coronation of Ram will take place. And with the same tongue, I asked him to go into the forest. He has left my dear Ram, and I am still alive. I've got so much of attachment to my life heirs. Is this the way? Is this the nature of my love? That Ram has left and still I am alive. Ram, Ram kahi, Ram kahi. Ram, Ram kahi, Ram. Tanu parihariyu raghuvar viraha. Rau gayu suradham. He said Ram, Ram 6 times and departed from there. At that time, Bharat and Shatrughna had gone to Kaikeyi Desh, their mother's place. So they were informed by the Doots to return immediately. Guru Vasish said, don't tell Bharat what has happened, bring him just back. And when Bharat returned, he saw all this. So just to speeden up that prasang, Bharat, the cremation of Dashrath took place. Bharat oversaw all of that, did the necessary rituals. But after that, when all the Ayodhya-vasis, having done the cremation, the tradition is you bathe yourself. They all took bath in the river Saryu. And then they sat down, a sabha, an assembly was called. And in the sabha, Guru Vasish said, I propose that the instruction of Dashrath should now be fulfilled. Should we all coronate Bharat as the king of Ayodhya? What do you all say? All the Ayodhya-vasis said, it's great. we give our consent. Bharat said, wait. I have a few questions for you all. The first question is that Dashrath gave two instructions. The first instruction was that Bharat should be coronated. And the second instruction was that Ram should go into the forest. Before fulfilling the first instruction, the second instruction was fulfilled. Why was this jump made? Actually, the jump was made by Ram. Ram knew that if first Bharat is coronated, then as the king he will say, okay Ram, you are now my subject, I am instructing you not to go into the forest. So before any such thing could happen, Ram departed. Bharat is questioning Guru Vasishtha that the second was fulfilled before the first. And my second question to you is, what right did my father have to give the kingdom to me? It was not his kingdom. He received it from his father, who received it from his father, who received it from his father, who received it from God himself. That God is Ram. The kingdom belonged to Ram. So nevertheless, Bharat said, if you all listen to me, I will get you to have darshan of Ram in a few days. And the Avadvasi said, what better can there be? What's your proposal? Bharat said, let us go into the forest and meet Ram. Take his agya. We will not impose. You have to do this, you have to do that. Agya saman susahib seva. Seva is as per instructions, not as per self-will. So Bharat doesn't insist that we will force Ram to come. He says we will go and meet him. We will take his agya, what is his happiness in. And whatever he says, we will place that agya on our head and fulfill it. So we all know that when Bharat met Ram, Ram explained to Bharat that it is dear to him to fulfill the instruction he has received. And he instructed Bharat to go and rule the kingdom. Bharat said, I need support. So Ram gave his 2 padukas. Let this be your support. Bharat took the sandals of Ram, came back and placed them on the throne, seeing those 2 sandals as Ram and Lakshman themselves, his 2 brothers. He ruled the kingdom, not as a bhogi, but as a yogi. So he decided that my Lord is in the forest. He is in a renounced attire. How can I put on a regal attire? Ram's jata, his locks of matted hair, increased in the forest, in the one. And Bharat's jata increased in the bhavan, in the palace itself. That was the elevated, pure state of Bharat's consciousness. But then after a couple of days, he was not even satisfied with that. He said, how can I live in this palace when my master is in the forest? It makes no sense to me. I wish to go and live outside. So he went and asked permission from Guru Vasishtha that Gurudev, I wish to follow the example of Ram. I will continue to do my duties. And Vasisht said, that is all right, but you take permission of Kaushalya. So Bharat went to Kaushalya. From his mind, he had already rejected Kaikeyi. He was just seeing Kaushalya as his mother. And he says, Mother, if you can permit me, I will not live in the palace. I will come in the morning to discharge my duties and then return to Nandigram. Kaushalya said, I've already lost my son Ram. Now I am going to lose you as well. So she put the condition that every day you will have to come and meet me. And Bharat then began living in Nandigram outside of Ayodhya. And even there he said that my master is sleeping on the floor, on the ground. Can you imagine that the master of the universe, to whom all luxuries are available, Lakshmi Devi, the goddess of fortune, is ever ready to serve him. And in his divine pastimes, he chooses to lie down on the hard earth without even a mat and go to sleep there. And that is preying on the mind of Bharat, that this is the situation of Ram. How can I lie on a soft mattress? How can I even lie on the earth? So Bharat actually dig up a hole in the earth, and he used to go and lie down there for 14 years. So when this love of Bharat was churned because Ram went into the forest, if that portion of the Ram Leela had not happened, we would not have come to know of the stellar devotion of the various Ram Patras. We would not have come to know of Sharbhang Rishi, who was waiting in the forest. Nath sakal sadhana mehina karahu kripa jani janadina. He says, Sharbhang Rishi, my lord, I am without any sharan. I have got no sadhan to attain you. And that is why I request that you, the shelter of the shelterless, please bless me. And in front of Ram, by Ram's grace, Sharbhang Rishi manifested Yogagni from his body, decimated the body, and his soul attained the lotus feet of Ram. All these Leelas, Shabri was waiting there for 40 years. And when Ram came, the sweet pastimes that happened, each of these could be elaborated in great detail. However, the takeaway is that all the nectar of the Ram Katha, it manifested because of the adverse circumstance that got created. Which means, if you take out that vanvas of Ram from the Ram Leela, what remains is nothing spectacular. And that has a very strong message for all of us. Like I was saying, that we too have got adversities in our life. Is there anybody here who does not have adversities? Is there anyone? Impossible. Because that is how God has created this world. He deliberately puts challenges. Now, we think things are going wrong in my life. Why is this happening? If this did not happen, everything would be well. But we don't realize those adversities have a tremendous potential to enrich us as human beings. Those adversities force us out of our comfort zone. It is in facing those challenges that we are forced to grow and become better people. It is possible, like I was saying, that you have a mantra in your life. Could be your Nanad or Jethani or Devrani or anybody. And if you realize that there is so much positivity that comes around from negative circumstances, you will not have a polarized view. We will learn to respect everyone. In fact, enemies, they enrich us even more than friends do. I had told you all a story few months ago. You must be remembering it because you've got fantastic memories. There was this saint and he had an enemy. The saint never thought he had an enemy, but the enemy saw the saint as his antagonist. Just like Yudhishthir is called Ajata Shatru, one whose enemy has not been born in this world. Can you imagine Yudhishthir fights a war with the Kauravas? There were 18 Akshohinis amongst the Kaurav and Pandav armies. The Pandav army had only 7 Akshohinis and of course Sri Krishna. The Kaurav army had 11 Akshohinis. So imagine the number of people in the Kaurav army who are thinking Yudhishthir is my enemy. And yet the Mahabharata says that Yudhishthir is Ajata Shatru. His enemy has never been born. Because Yudhishthir never thinks he has got an enemy. He is seeing God in everyone. He is seeing everyone as a part of God. So likewise, this Mahatma, somebody thought the Mahatma is my enemy, but the Mahatma never thought that, and that person passed away one day. And the Mahatma's disciples, they came running, Guruji, we've got such good news for you. What good news? You know, that person who used to oppose you so much, he used to keep writing nasty comments about you on all the Facebook and YouTube posts. He used to troll you on the internet. That person has left the world. Jai ho, let's have a party. Guruji heard this. Is it actually like this? Yes, Guruji, it's confirmed news. Guruji started crying. And then they all said, Are Guruji, why are you crying? He was creating so many problems for you. Guruji said, it was because of him that I was progressing. You don't progress when everybody is praising you. Where is the opportunity to progress? You progress when people criticize you. And then you can remain if you are able to remain normal, that is progress. That's what I learned from Kripaluji Maharaj as a junior pracharak. There was some kusang somewhere. This Maharajji was sending me there and said, Maharajji, there's so much of kusang. Maharajji said, if there is kusang somewhere, never miss the opportunity. You must preach in that place, because that is where you get the opportunity to purify your heart. You see, the adverse circumstances, what is progress in sadhana? Where there is a reason for bitterness. Somebody has hurt you, but you are not bitter. Where there is a reason for envy, but you are not envious. Where there is a reason for your mind to be disturbed. Your neighbor plays such loud music, and you are not disturbed. So that is the real sadhana. That is what life is all about, growing from inside. We are always trying to grow from outside. If you take a look at 365 days of the year, how much time you spend on various things, how much time did you allocate to your inner growth? How much time? But that is the reason God has sent us in this world. That we grow from wherever we were in the past life. To move ahead, either to reach the ultimate destination or at least close enough to it. So if somebody is not growing from inside, they are not really living. The day the inner growth stops, life is useless. You may say, I'm enjoying my luxuries. I'm enjoying this opulence. But from God's point of view, you are not fulfilling the purpose of your life. Real life is in the inner growth. And the catalyst for the inner growth is the adversities. So when we prioritize, when we tweak our values, I don't want comfort, I want growth. Then we don't mind adversities. In fact, the saints, they pray for adversities. We've heard the prayer of Kunti. She says, Vipada santu na shashvat tatra tatra Jagadguru. Oh Jagadguru Shree Krishna, please don't give me comfort, because then I may slip. I may forget that there is no real happiness in this world. I may start thinking that life is eternal, I've got it all made. So don't allow me to be complacent. Give me vipatti. Keep giving me difficulties. Kunti got difficulties all her life. So Sri Krishna says, Kunti, you only had difficulties and difficulties from the time you were in your youth. You never got the happiness of your husband. Your children were oppressed. You had to go through the burning of the house of wax. You had to see the kingdom of Indraprasth being taken away by the gimmicks of Shakuni. You had to go into the forest with your sons for 12 long years. And now finally your son is the king of Hastinapur and you are the Maharani. And I am asking you, ask for a boon, Kunti. And Kunti is saying, Vipatti, Maharaj, give me Vipatti. So Kunti responded, Maharaj, that's very right. I did have a fair share of difficulties. But it was in those difficulties that I found I was closest to you from inside. In those difficulties, my inner self was in yoga with you. So don't give me bhog. That is what people are asking for. Sukha sampatti ghar aave kashta mite tanaka Om Jai Jagadish Hari. सुख संपत्ति करावे ताकि हम मंदिर भूल जावे. So Kunti says, Maharaj, I want yog. I am aware of the goal of my life. And if it requires difficulties, I will welcome them. Sri Aurobindo has been a great yogi of the last century. In the early part of last century, also called Maharshi Arvind. In Hindi, his English name was Sri Aurobindo. So he prayed, "Oh Lord, if there's any stupidity in any fiber of my being, please chop it out." Now imagine, we all have so much of stupidity in us, right? And God is the supreme sculptor who is engaged in chopping it out. Not because he hates us, but because he's our Father who loves us. It is like the wood that went to the sculptor and said, "Make me beautiful." The sculptor said, "I am ready. Are you ready?" The wood said, "I am ready." The sculptor took out his tools and started chiseling. And the wood complained, "What are you doing? So cruel of you." The sculptor said, "If you wish to be beautiful, you will have to tolerate the pain." The wood said, "All right, my intellect now understands. Go ahead, but ration it a little bit every day." Having received the permission, the sculptor started again. And the wood would keep complaining, "Enough for today, no more. I can't bear any more." But the sculptor kept doing his work. The wood kept complaining. One day it became a beautiful deity. It was then established in the temple of the Lord on the altar. Like that coarse piece of wood is our inside, with anger, greed, desire, hatred, envy, and so many inauspicious things. And the supreme sculptor is God, and his representative, the Guru. Our prayer to them should not be, "Make me the most comfortable I can be." But we should submit ourselves. "Please do whatever is necessary, that I may become beautiful from inside." So in this true fulfillment of the purpose of life, everything is a part of the grand scheme. When prosperity comes, it comes for a purpose as a grace. When calamity and adversity comes, it also comes for a purpose as a grace. The devotee must learn to see in the apparent dualities of the world the realities of God's grace. That you can never have Diwali without the calamity of Ram going into the forest. And sometimes, which seems like a curse, is also a blessing in disguise. And that mantra that you are hating so much, who is still alive from the Ram Leela in some form or the other, is probably placed there by God as a part of the grand scheme. So the Ram Leela has got so much to take away. And we are all blessed to have the opportunity to celebrate and remember it. There are two Gangas in this world. The first is Sursari Bhagirathi Ganga, the river Ganges. This Ganga in the earth planet begins from Lord Shiv. Because Shiv received it from the celestial abodes and let it go. And the second is the Ganga of the Ram Katha, the pastimes of God. And this is coming from the lotus-like mouth of Shivji. Because when Parvati asked Shivji the questions about Ram, Shivji narrated the Ram Katha. And that Ram Katha is available to us all today. It is the aushadhi, the medicine for the affliction that we find ourselves with, the affliction of bhavarog. Bhavarog, the affliction of material disease. We are all under Maya. And in this situation, the aushadhi is the Ram Katha. And Deepavali is a tremendous opportunity to remind ourselves, to savor from it, to inspire ourselves. So let us celebrate Deepavali by receiving the divine wisdom from the Ram Katha, from filling our hearts with the light of divine knowledge and the ocean, the droplets from the ocean of love for Sri Ram. This year, of course, in the next few months, there's going to be a lot of churning of Bhagavan Ram's Leelas, because we are all aware that on 22nd of January, which is just a little more than 2 months from now, the Ram Janmabhoomi Mandir in Ayodhya is going to get inaugurated. So after hundreds of years, that is why I will be, after this Deepavali Mahotsav, I'll be returning to India, where I spend 5 to 6 months. I'll be traveling all of India. In the last month of December, I do a sadhana camp in our university campus. 25th December to 31st December. That's a given every year. And this time, I'm going to take inspiration for divine knowledge and devotion from the Ram Katha. For the 14 lectures that will be a part of the 7-day Shibir, just letting you all know. Some of you come and participate in person, the others should definitely participate online and not miss this churning of the Ram Katha. So we have begun our celebration of Deepavali by savoring the Ram Leela tidbits. Today the celebration will continue through the day. And in the evening we have got a wonderful satsang, which will again also include a message for Deepavali, a more philosophic message. So, very happy to have you all here. Do, if you can, come back in the evening for the satsang as well. Happy Deepavali once again to all of you. Let's end with the chanting of the names of Ram. Shri Ram, Shri Ram, Jai Ram, Jai Jai Ram, Shri Ram, Jai Ram, Jai Jai Ram.
Shri Ram, Jai Ram, Jai Jai Ram. Shri Ram, Jai
Everyone.
Jai Jai Ram.
Oh, Shri Ram, Jai Ram, Jai Jai Ram. Shri Ram, Jai Ram, Jai Jai Ram.
Shri Ram, Jai Ram, Jai Jai Ram. Shri Ram, Jai Ram, Jai Jai Ram.
Shri Ram, Jai Ram, Jai Jai Ram.
Shri Ram, Jai Ram, Jai Jai Ram.
Oh, Shri Ram, Jai Ram, Jai Jai Ram. Everyone.
Shri Ram, Jai Ram, Jai Jai Ram.
Shri Ram, Jai Ram, Jai Jai Ram. Shri Ram, Jai Ram, Jai Jai Ram.
Shri Ram, Jai Ram, Jai Jai Ram. Shri Ram, Jai Ram, Jai Jai Ram.
Shri Ram, Jai Ram, Jai Jai Ram. Shri Ram, Jai Ram, Jai Jai Ram.
Shri Ram, Jai Ram, Jai Jai Ram. Shri Ram, Jai Ram, Jai Jai Ram.
Oh, Shri Ram, Jai Ram, Jai Jai Ram. Shri Ram, Jai Ram, Jai Jai Ram.
Shri Ram, Jai Ram, Jai Jai Ram. Shri Ram, Jai Ram, Jai Jai Ram.
Shri Ram, Jai Ram, Jai Jai Ram.
Shri Ram, Jai Ram, Jai Jai Ram.
Oh, Shri Ram, Jai Ram, Jai Jai Ram.
Shri Ram, Jai Ram, Jai Jai Ram.
Shri Ram, Jai Ram, Jai Jai Ram. Shri Ram, Jai Ram, Jai Jai Ram.
Shri Ram, Jai Ram, Jai Jai Ram. Shri Ram, Jai Ram, Jai Jai Ram.
Oh, Shri Ram, Jai Ram, Jai Jai Ram. Shri Ram, Jai Ram, Jai Jai Ram.
Shri Ram, Jai Ram, Jai Jai Ram. Shri Ram, Jai Ram, Jai Jai Ram.
Oh, Shri Ram, Jai Ram, Jai Jai Ram. Shri Ram, Jai Ram, Jai Jai Ram.
Shri Ram, Jai Ram, Jai Jai Ram. Shri Ram, Jai Ram, Jai Jai Ram.
Oh, Shri Ram, Jai Ram, Jai Jai Ram.
Shri Ram, Jai Ram, Jai Jai Ram.
Oh, Shri Ram, Jai Ram, Jai Jai Ram.
Shri Ram, Jai Ram, Jai Jai Ram.
Shri Ram, Jai Ram, Jai Jai Ram. Shri Ram, Jai Ram, Jai Jai Ram.
Shri Ram, Jai Ram, Jai Jai Ram. Shri Ram, Jai Ram, Jai Jai Ram.
Oh, Shri Ram, Jai Ram, Jai Jai Ram. Jai Ram.
Shri Ram Jai Ram Jai Jai Ram. Shri Ram Jai Ram Jai Jai Ram.
Oh, Shri Ram Jai Ram. Shri Ram Jai Ram Jai Jai Ram.
Shri Ram Jai Ram Jai Jai Ram. Shri Ram Jai Ram Jai Jai Ram.
Oh, Shri Ram Jai Ram Jai Jai Ram. Shri Ram Jai Ram Jai Jai Ram. Jai Siya Ram, Jai Siya Ram.
Jai Siya Ram, bolo Jai Siya Ram.
Jai Siya Ram, Jai Siya Ram.
Jai Siya Ram, bolo Jai Siya Ram.
Jai Siya Ram, Jai Siya Ram.
Jai Siya Ram, bolo Jai Siya Ram.
Jai Siya Ram, 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 Jai Siya Ram.
Raghupati Raghav Raja Ram.
Raghupati Raghav Raja Ram.
Raghupati Raghav Raja Ram.
Raghupati Raghav Raja Ram.
Patit Pavan Sita Ram.
Patita Pavan Sita Ram.
Patit Pavan Sita Ram.
Patita Pavan Sita Ram.
Raghupati Raghav Raja Ram.
Raghupati Raghav Raja Ram.
Raghupati Raghav Raja Ram.
Raghupati Raghav Raja Ram.
Patit Pavan Sita Ram.
Patita Pavan Sita Ram.
Patit Pavan Sita Ram.
Patita Pavan Sita Ram.
Shri Ram Jai Ram Jai Jai 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 Ram.
Maryada Purushottam 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 Ram.
Jai Siya Ram, Jai Siya 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 Ram.
Jyot se Jyot Jagado 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 Ram.
Nainan Tapan Bujhado Ram.
Nainan Tapan Bujhado Ram.
Nainan Tapan Bujhado Ram.
Nainan Tapan Bujhado Ram.
Jyot se Jyot Jagado 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 Ram.
Nainan Tapan Bujhado Ram.
Nainan Tapan Bujhado Ram.
Shri Ram Jai Ram Jai Jai Ram.
Shri Ram Jai Ram Jai Jai Ram.
Sita Ram Bolo Sita 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 Ram. Everyone!
Bolo Sita Ram.
Sita Ram Bolo Sita Ram.
Sita Ram bolo Sita Ram.
Jai Siya Ram Bolo Jai Siya 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 Ram. Everyone!
Jai Siya Ram.
Jai Siya Ram Bolo 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 Jai Siya Ram.
Shri Ram Jai Ram Jai Jai 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 Ram.
Jai Siya Ram Bolo Jai Siya 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 Ram.
Sita Ram Bolo Sita 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 Ram.
Raghupati Raghav Raja Ram. Everyone!
Raja Ram.
रघुपति राघव राजा राम,
रघुपति राघव राजा राम,
पतित पावन सीताराम,
पतित पावन सीताराम,
पतित पावन सीताराम,
पतित पावन सीताराम,
रघुपति राघव राजा राम,
रघुपति
ले ले
राजा राम,
रघुपति राघव राजा राम,
रघुपति राघव राजा राम,
पतित पावन सीताराम,
पतित पावन सीताराम,
पतित पावन सीताराम,
पतित पावन सीताराम,
श्री राम जय राम जय जय राम,
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 जय सिया राम बोलो जय सिया 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 राम, जय सिया राम, जय सिया राम बोलो जय सिया राम,
जय सिया राम बोलो जय सिया राम,
जय सिया राम बोलो जय सिया राम,
जय सिया राम बोलो जय सिया राम,
सीताराम बोलो सीताराम,
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 सीताराम बोलो सीताराम।
सीताराम बोलो सीताराम।
बोलिए सियावर रामचंद्र की, पवन सुत हनुमान की, उमापति महादेव की, वृंदावन बिहारी लाल की, भक्ति योग रसावतार जगद्गुरु श्री कृपालुजी महाराज की, दीपावली महोत्सव की, राधा कृष्ण वल्लभ की, समस्त अवधवासी की जय जय ओम नमः पार्वती पते हर हर